Good morning, you guys. I'm gonna wait for you guys to start getting the notifications. I'm up early. I've been up since like 5. Um I went to sleep early last night though, but I've been up like since 5 and I've been cleaning and made me some breakfast and drinking my coffee, and I was sitting here chilling. Hey, Pretty Brown. I'm gonna see who's all up at 7:30 in the morning. They say when you get up early, that means your metabolism burning good, child. I see Tyranny, Your Choice Towing TV, Dana Dane. I remember there used to be a group called Dana Dane. I believe it was Dana Dane. They had some music that I liked growing up in the 80s. Too Pretty Miss Kitty. Too Pretty Miss Kitty up. Hey, Miss Diane. T Yad, Terry Mack, Phenomenal Black Woman. Joy Loves God. Shout out to the moderators. Um, yeah, shout out to my moderators. Hey, D Cat Daddy. How is everybody doing this morning? Just praying for all in Memphis. Yes, you're right. There was a group called Dan. Yeah, there was a group called Dana Dane. It's more people up than what I thought. Hey, Keith Lee. I remember this basketball player named Keith Lee in Memphis. Um, he played for the University of Memphis. He was a star player. I don't know if he went pro. I think he did for a little while, maybe. But I just remember my great aunts used to go crazy because he could play so good. They loved Memphis. They called it Memphis State, child. Um, hey, Miss Roberta. I'm drinking on my coffee. Y'all know I am a coffee fanatic. I told y'all when I retire, I want to open a coffee shop. My sister was like, "Girl, that's so you. You like an old white woman." I can see you sitting in a coffee shop drinking coffee. I love coffee. I study everything about coffee beans, and I know when coffee is stale. Like, I love McDonald's coffee, right? And even the coffee that they sell in I think they call themselves selling it in like the stores, that is not the same McDonald's coffee. And so when I go to McDonald's, because I can only drink, I don't like Burger King coffee. It's just too. So if you put the milk in the coffee and it comes up to the top real fast, that's fresh coffee. But if you put the creamer in the coffee and it's like a milky color, it seems like it's not floating up to the top real fast. That's old coffee. I always tell them no. This coffee. How long has it been since y'all fixed this coffee? Oh, we just made. I'm like, no, this coffee is old. I'll wait. I love to go into Big Lots because they always have like different brands of coffee that we don't see in the regular stores that I like to try. There was this guy, I don't know if it's still open, that opened up uh, a black owned coffee shop, I believe in the Orange Mountain area. I said I was gonna go and because it was on the news. I am going to go and patronize him to see how good his coffee is. He says he gets it from Africa. I thought that was awesome. I love to support black businesses. I do. Dana Dane says, I'm a coffee snob and can tell when coffee is old by the smell. I am I'm such a coffee person. Like, I loved trying the different flavors. I'm gonna tell you who has some of the best coffee also to buy out of the store. Dunkin' Donuts. The chocolate turtle coffee. But see, they took it up to the bag is small. They took it up to $8 a bag. I was like, dog, I don't want to pay $8.99 a bag for that. They wrong for that. So I like that cream bouillon flavor. It's like $4. So I get the hey, Miss Mary. I had not seen you in here in a while. I'm glad to see you back. Hey, Strings. TB21. I'm watching y'all. Remy barks when I'm tell y'all something. If Remy is laying in her bed and I get on here or I turn on um my TV and start listening to music, she gonna start barking. She do not like for me to talk when she trying to sleep. Now that I got my washer, I'm washing clothes, and she don't like to hear that washing machine. Caramel mocha. I haven't tried that. I'm gonna try that. Oh, I bet that's good. Hey, Natty Bell. Diane says, I've tried to like coffee, but I just can't get with it. I drank coffee with my granddad every morning as a child. I guess that's why I don't like it. My great aunt that lived in Indiana, she's passed away now. She was my favorite, and I was my mom was her favorite niece, and because my mom was her favorite niece, I became her favorite great niece. We called her Aunt Ida, and Aunt Ida, I used to love going there because Aunt Ida and Uncle Willie B, we call him Uncle Willie B, they always drank coffee, and she got me started drinking coffee. That was the only time that I could get to drink coffee when we went to visit in Indiana. And I just caught on to it. I'm gonna tell you something. My oldest daughter loves coffee, but my baby girl does not like coffee, and she does not like chocolate. And she was the baby that ate everything. She was greedy. She was the fat baby. She's tall now, so she's grown out of it. She exercises now a lot to keep that weight off. But my oldest girl has always been slim and tall and petite. Um, and so, but she didn't like meat. I craved nothing but fish and French fries when I was pregnant with them, and I couldn't eat fish from out of the store. We had to go fishing. It had to be fish out of the lake. I love going fishing and catching fish, and we would freeze them and clean them. I crave fish and French fries and spaghetti. One of my cousins, she was more like an aunt who's deceased now. She made the best spaghetti. And I remember when I was pregnant with my second baby, nobody knew. I called her and said, "Are you going to make spaghetti?" She said, "No, but you want some spaghetti?" I was like, "Yeah, I want some of your spaghetti." And so she called my mom. She said, they called me Chrissy. Chrissy called me and asked me to fix spaghetti. That's weird, ain't it? I guess she was trying to say, is she pregnant? And I was pregnant. And it was fit. And don't you know that my oldest daughter won't eat fish? I remember when she was like 3 years old, I pulled up at the fish market on Kimball's Fish Market on 3rd Street. And she looked up, they got a fish on the fish house. And she looked up at it, and she was in her car seat. She said, "Mommy, me not eat no fish." I said, "Oh my God, my baby talking good." And she has never eaten fish. She don't like chicken. For a long time, she wouldn't eat meat. It was always carrots. I mean, we're carnivores in our family, and to have a baby that would like carrots and stuff like that, and she's still finicky. But now she'll eat like a hamburger. She'll eat a hamburger, but that's about it. She liked to buy ground beef to make hamburger steak and all of that. Boss lady said it's 5:40 a.m. in Cali. I've been in here. I've been listening to you every time you come on. If I miss you, I will always come back and get caught up. Okay, Miss Mary. She says her 12-year-old is like that. I'm telling you, but I'm gonna tell y'all something. My Juki fruit, her baby is a carnivore. That baby is so fat. And she be wanting to eat. She go crazy. Like if I got her in my arm, she can't even eat nothing. If I have her in my arm and I start eating, she starts falling out, and you know, y'all know how they fall out. Because like she can eat it. So I just have to put a little taste of something on her tongue, child, and y'all ought to see her like moving her mouth like she really know what's going on. I'm like, how she know she wants some food? She only 7 months old. Start screaming. Her mama got to go somewhere today. I said, I can't keep Juki today. Juki wearing me out. She said, I know Auntie gonna keep her. I said, thank God. I love her too. I be wanting to kiss all over her, but she don't want you to put her down. But how is everybody doing this morning? A little small talk. Um, yes, if you haven't gotten a membership, get a membership because we have a book club, okay? And I'm gonna do a live video for my book club in a few. But I wanted to talk about Memphis has become a war zone. I think it's sad, and it is because of all of these cliques and gangs and stuff that's popping up. And also, hey Mika, it has a lot to do with a lot of the drugs that's in the community now. Like, um, not only are the younger people on drugs and powder and everything, a lot of the older ones, that was on crack, they've graduated. Thank you, M Rose, for becoming a member. They've gotten off of crack and gotten on powder, or they still on both of them. Okay, they're on heroin, they taking X pills and stuff like that. Y'all, it's sickening, right? I thought that when people got to be my age, like in their 40s, yeah, fentanyl. And fentanyl is horse tranquilizer. I didn't know that until my friend he's a police major, and I was talking to him about some stuff. And he tell me all the time about how how crazy it has gotten. And he said, I was talking to him about fentanyl. He said, fentanyl is horse tranquilizer. I said, oh my God, I never thought I would live to see the day where people were, you know, taking drugs and they know like fentanyl can give you there have been many officers to search somebody and they have fentanyl or a needle or something, and it gives you an overdose immediately, right? And so to see old people that are in their 40s, you would think they would know better, in their 30s and stuff, trying things and getting strung out. It's absolutely crazy, right? It's absolutely crazy. Let me see something. I wanted to show you all this. Okay. I hate this is going on. And so y'all know I'm gonna talk bad about the politicians in Memphis. Oh, Lord have mercy. I think it's sad what's going on. Hold on. I'm trying to find. Okay, here it is. Right here. This is how crazy they have gone in Memphis, and I'm serious. I know it's everywhere. I know people that look at this say, but T is happening, and I know it's happening everywhere. But it's like now some of these folks is taking pleasure in doing this stuff. Hold on, you guys.
At an ATM in the caught on.
Okay, you guys. Hey, not only do you need to be aware of your surroundings on when you're out at the ATM machines and things of that nature, make sure you check your bank accounts because they hit licks on here. Some of these bloggers and their people, their subscribers. So make sure you're consistently checking your bank account. Make sure you're consistently checking make sure you're consistently checking your bank account, make sure ain't nobody somehow they able to order y'all medical records and shit. The FBI on that though. I know they think they ain't, but they are. And they're able to they're working with somebody that's able to get copies of your ID and all of that. Okay. Um so run your credit report. You can also I'll be letting you all know how you can contact different like different driver's license places in different cities and states to see if someone has duplicated your driver's licenses. Okay, because they're selling your information, and these Hispanics, they can go in another state and get driver's licenses in your name. Okay, I haven't said much about that because I like for the people to do their job. Okay, but just protect yourself, y'all. Protect yourself. These folks sick on here and off of here. Okay. They really got something coming dealing with them HIPAA laws. Okay. Um, I can't stand a bum or a thief either. I can't stand a bum. I can't stand a thief. Okay. It's one thing when a person is a bum and they ain't bothering nobody else, but I hate a thief because if you will steal, you'll kill. These folks, the way they hitting licks and stealing, they will kill to try and cover it up. Okay. Place an identity theft alert on your name. Absolutely. Okay. I wanted to show you all this too. Um, yeah, this is ridiculous. It's like these folks have lost their mind, right? It's saying that FedEx employee allegedly beat up manager after being fired. A former FedEx employee is being accused of beating up her supervisor after being fired. According to officials on May 23rd at 11 a.m., police officers were called to FedEx Hub in South Memphis, where FedEx security informed that Natalia attacked her supervisor. Reports say that Ford had just gotten fired for insubordination before running to her supervisor and yelling, "You got me fired," and hitting her. A witness attempted to get Ford off of the victim as she tried to cover her face and backed into a corner. Reports say Ford punched over the witness, hitting the victim in the head 3 times. The victim was able to use her radio to call security, who came and grabbed Ford off of her. Y'all, these folks is done lost her mind. Now, that was wrong. I don't know what the situation was with that, but she never should have put her hands on the person. Okay. Um, but Memphis has become a war zone. Like, I hear a lot of people say that they don't even like turning on they don't even like turning on the news because of all of the stuff. And I know it's happening in every state. I know that it is, but a lot of Memphis is up under the magnifying glass, because of what has happened to Young Dolph and what happened to Tyree Nichols and things of that nature. It's been a lot of other stuff to happen before that and even after that. But it's got a lot to do with the politicians just feeling comfortable enough to hijack Memphis. And I say it's a blessing and a curse. I say it's a curse because I hate that it brought this type of attention to Memphis. I hate someone had to lose their life, like Young Dolph was killed. He was a star. I hate that Young Dolph had to lose his life. I hate that Tyree had to lose his life and all the others that have lost their lives. But at the same time, I hope that it wakes Memphians up, okay? Um, to see, because the magnifying glass is on Memphis, because the politicians don't give a damn. I thought that it would make them feel guilty, seeing that everybody is talking about Memphis. I was like, this could be a blessing. They'll get embarrassed. They'll start doing something about Memphis. Okay. They didn't do that. Instead, they see this as an opportunity. Okay. They see this as an opportunity to be celebrities. They glad that the cameras are on Memphis so that they can get their 5 minutes and lie. I'm talking about the politicians. And it's sad, the mindset of the younger people is when they see and I had to pray about it before I made this title. I was like, because some of these younger adults are so sick. They feel like it's a badge of honor. Yeah, Memphis is a war zone. Yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, they think that's a badge of honor. That's how sick a lot of people are. Like, mental illness is real. Why would anybody want to live in the conditions? But I blame a lot of the politicians and a lot of the people that are just laxed with the same old, same old. As I say, if you want to make a change, you got to start with the politicians. My dad used to always say, and this is around the time that I miss my dad every second of the day. But my dad gave them hell around election time. Okay. He gave them hell around election time. And I've been trying to crank back up, but it starts messing with me every time I get ready to go over there and do a show. And I look to my left and my dad ain't on the side of me as it relates to calling these politicians out. It's going to take a minute. Okay. And so, um, I think it's a darn shame before God that, these politicians hijack the city of Memphis, and then nothing is done about it. But people got to get unrelaxed, because Memphis and Shelby County at this point, because Shelby County used to be majority white. Shelby County is the county that Memphis sits in, right? It's the county. It used to be majority white, but now a lot of the whites are moving out of Shelby County on to, coming on to Mississippi and going further as far as down to Oxford and just driving 2 hours to work to get away, right, from the crime. And so people are going to have to start getting out and voting and stop voting based on race and name recognition, because Memphis and Shelby County is 76% Black at this point. So it's no reason why Memphians should not be putting in the people, okay, or any city that's majority Black, putting in politicians that's going to make a difference in their city. But I think as far as us as Black people, because I'm Black, we are creatures of habit. Okay, so we see a politician who ain't did a damn thing, but we're familiar with their face. They have a charismatic personality, a charismatic personality. Well, what has he done for the last 4 years? I don't know what he do. Do you know what he do? Has he brought any jobs in? No, but you know what? He sure do come over there to the church. He real good friends with my pastor. They ain't real good friends. Him and your pastor got a business deal going on. And what he's doing is he's giving your pastor, who has that big congregation, children, the top jobs, so that he can stand in front of his pulpit and say they best friends and y'all vote for him, and making sure your pastor get a grant. Because these politicians, like the city council, the county commissioners, the mayor, all of them can give grants out. Okay, they're allotted so much money to be able to give grants out to different nonprofit organizations, and churches fall up under nonprofit organizations. So we got to open our eyes to this. I don't care how much I love a pastor. He ain't going to tell me who to vote for. And so it's time for our people to start vetting. They don't ever want Black people to start voting. They want us to have that mentality of, well, I just leave the politics to the politicians, because they know whoever controls the politics controls the money. Do y'all know how much money comes into the urban communities? These folks getting banked off. Black folks get all types of money to come into the hood. When I say the urban communities have money to come in, and it is controlled by these politicians. But they don't tell you that because black people don't know that. We're not vetting the politicians saying, well, what kind of grant came in? What you going to do with that? How you going to allot that? And the first thing they do is they tell their wife and their kids, go start a nonprofit organization. We had a $10 million grant to come in. And I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put you over that grant. And y'all going to disperse it. And who are they dispersing it to? They're dispersing it to their friends. And these nonprofit organizations ain't doing a damn thing for the community. Okay? My dad fed more people in the city of Memphis than any church. Well, my dad would open up this restaurant called Girlies. Hold on, y'all. My bacon burning. Hold on. Oh, Remy. Oh, Remy, I'm going to get you. Hold on, y'all. I'm going to get you. Okay. And so what my dad would do was he would have this restaurant that was closed on Sundays for every holiday on Thanksgiving and Christmas in North Memphis called Girlies. It's a soul food restaurant, and he would tell them to open up. He had been doing it for years, and he would pay them to open up on Sundays, the day that they was closed, the week before Thanksgiving, the week before Christmas. Had them to feed everybody in the community. Because my dad was calling these politicians, other politicians out. Okay. They had to deal with him because he had the communications, he had the media. So they didn't really want to go against him. But they didn't really care for him. They just knew that it was not safe to go against him. Right. And so instead of you didn't really see a whole lot of the main medias. Now, when I would do something, he would have the main medias would come out and record me, like when I was doing that from Pain to Purpose conference. Okay, because I guess it looked good because we was talking about women with that had been battered, battered women and things of that nature. And my dad would he would buy time. We would talk about it on our network. We would talk about it on our radio show. And he would buy airtime on other radio shows and say, spread the word. We're feeding the whole city of Memphis, and Arkansas and Mississippi can come too. He would send out flyers and letters and stuff to all of the churches in Memphis. And I'm going to tell you what would happen. We would be there because I would be standing there with my dad. Okay. We would be there, and the line would be very long. All of the homeless people around the North Memphis area, my dad would hire somebody on it to go to every corner and say, y'all come and get some free food. It's free. Come and stand in line and get free food. But they was not promoting that. And then we would see the pastors come in, instead of them loading their buses up and putting all of their seniors and children and their congregations, all the people that did not have cars to get to North Memphis to come and get free food, they would be in there getting free food. How you doing, Rick? We came to get some of this good food. My dad said, where your congregation at? You didn't bring your congregation with you? Oh, well, I guess they're going to come. They didn't give a damn about their congregation. They was coming to get some of the good food. Girlies got good food. But this is a prime example of how so many people claim that they are for the people, and it's not for the people. Them preachers probably have made about $50,000, okay, at that Sunday. But they come to get free food, didn't think to have their people to come and get the food and take boxes and go out on every corner and help my dad to just take boxes and drop it off on every street in North Memphis, because North Memphis is impoverished, and have some of their congregations to go to South Memphis. And even if they had seniors that could, because a lot of seniors don't have cars. They can't come there. They should have had their members working to come and get boxes to take it to the seniors that was sick and shut in. But hell, they was just coming in there to get them some food and they wives and children and that good soul food, and then they would go home. They didn't care. And so, like I said, this is a prime example of what's going on. And so now, people they're not saying just say no to drugs anymore. God had given me an idea. And like I said, my dad and I had so many ideas. I got to get back into the swing of things because now I have to be in the place that my dad was. And it's hard for me because my dad was my leader, right? He was my role model. Okay. And so, but so now what they're doing, but we had started talking about this. They don't say don't go do drugs. They want them to go get on drugs. You know why? Because it's so many rehabilitation centers that's popping up all around Memphis and in other cities and states and things of that nature. Everybody got a damn rehabilitation center. I say, hell, are they counselors? Are they doctors? No, they ain't even got GEDs, but they can get the money from the government and they can hire the doctors and stuff to be in there. So don't nobody want nobody not to be on drugs anymore. They want them to be on drugs so that they can come to their rehabilitation center and they can get the money from the government. What in the hell is going on now? But I blame a lot of and they use black people as guinea pigs because black people we got such codependent personalities. We don't see what's going on because we're so busy trying to drag each other down. That's the reason why I say when I get on here, I'm not going to crawl into no damn barrel. I'm going to get them folks that violated me. They don't think I am, but I am. The women and the men. But I'm not getting ready. I'm going to do that because there's a systematic way to do it. Okay, but I'm not going to get on YouTube and crawl into no barrel because this is supposed to be a form of media to get the truth out because our people is in a bad state. I didn't do it on TV and I'm not going to get on here and do it. Okay? I'm not going to get on here and do it. But instead of our people using what God has given them, that's the reason why God takes folks down pretty quick. Okay? Because this right here could be a way for folks to be real successful. It's a lot of money in vlogging. Hell, there's other people that have other things going on, but for those who can do it all day, every day, they can really make a real good living. Okay? But instead, they get into garbage and God allows it to crash because it's already too much chaos into the atmosphere. And once people zone in on them, the praying people zone in on them and start coming into agreement, God, get them up out of here one way or the other. And a witchcraft or whatever they call themselves, God, it can't stand up against God. You better be careful about this witchcraft that you put into the atmosphere to try to control people. Because see, people start going to the witches and consulting with the dead and things of that nature when they want to control somebody. You can't control somebody that consults with God constantly. You can control your destiny and be down there in the grave with the dead, coming up against a child of God. That witchcraft and that evil can't come up against that. That's the reason why I don't worry about that. If they knew the types of prayers that we had in the atmosphere and how often we pray and agree, they'd be running. Okay? So you better be real careful about who you mess with, especially when that person has a mandate on their life. Okay? You better be very careful because whatever it is that I'm supposed to do, it's going to go forth because I got the Almighty covering me. That's the reason why when I get on here and talk my stuff, I don't be worried about nobody coming up against me. In Memphis, when I'm in Memphis, I don't be studying that stuff. Okay? I don't wear no mask. I don't wear no nothing because I already know that I'm covered. Okay? Even if they thought about doing something for me, they'd have a heart attack and die before they got to me. When a person has destiny on their life and it is preordained for them to do something, a devil in hell couldn't stop it. They can stop themselves, but they can't stop that. Okay? My grandmother that's passed away used to sit and pray all the time. When she'd be cooking, she'd be praying. She was sealing prayers in heaven for me even then. And these witches think they can come up against that? No, I got a mama get up at 5 a.m. every morning. Now I done started getting up and sit at the foot of her bed and go into the spiritual realm. These witches think they can come against that? I don't think so. But the problem is our people are so content with trying to pull each other down. We gonna team up and we gonna do this. We ain't gonna get this person they props. We gonna team up and we gonna do that. And they just don't know because them prayers have already gone forward because of their evil thoughts towards me or anybody else that has covered. They already damned to hell. Okay, whatever they thought they was gonna do, it can't even prosper. You put bad luck on yourself coming up against the wrong people because guess what? I was successful before I ever even got up on here. Okay, so ain't no YouTuber, no vlogger, no nothing can determine that I was somebody before I got here. And anybody that has self-confidence know that they was somebody. YouTube can't make me. YouTube don't make me. Okay. But for other people, when they're not used to anything, they allow when people say you great, you have to be real careful about that. And it's all good when people give you props. But you got to know who you are and whose you are, because the same people that give you props today, they'll be trying to stick knives in your back tomorrow if you ain't careful. So you have to know who you are, because if you believe what people say when they praising you, when they start dogging you out, you'll believe that too. That's the reason why you just have to stand firm and know who you are and whose you are. Okay. So that's why stuff don't even bother me no more. When people start switching up, they start making all these fake pages, and we know who they are, and they start making fake pages because they ain't bold enough to do it on their real pages and coming into my chat and trolling. I go, hey, I knew they was going, hey, I figured they didn't like me anyway, but it's all good because I'm here on a mission. Okay. But that bad karma gonna hit them, because just because you don't use your real page and you using fake pages, it don't mean that karma miss you now. Okay. But Memphis has become a war zone, okay? Because of the mindset. Our people is mentally out there, okay? And I understand that everybody takes advantage of the Black community. That is true, because our communities don't know, and that bothers me. But I think it's a darn shame when God starts to put people in place that could help to bring the Black communities, okay, out of bondage. All right, they'll kill somebody like Young Dolph. Kill him. He flexing too much. He think he this. Yeah, but this dude done learned the recipe. You the one that's in rap. You ain't got to sign no 360 deal. All you got to do, Young Dolph gonna teach you the recipe. They'll let somebody who done signed a 360 deal, that's looking at them, that want to take advantage of them. And see, that's another thing too. There's a lot of people that's they judge, they don't know how to judge good character. Okay, they just don't. They have bad judgment when it comes to people's characters. Okay, they'll attack somebody that could actually be helpful to them. Because I don't care how much mess I talk. I got a good heart. If I can't help you, I ain't gonna hurt you. But if you violate me, we can't make up. Because I'm a very reserved person, because I've been hurt a lot before. Folks have been jealous. Even when I was living in the projects, folks always want to try to stab you in your back. So if I let you into my inner circle and you cut at me, we can't make up. Because even though it's vlogging and it's this and that, I can't make, we can't do that, because you cut at me. I'm not gonna give you the opportunity to finish me off. This ain't no game to me. I'm loyal in real life. Okay? And if you mess over me, you done lost a good one. Because I tell anybody, I'm a good one to have on your team because I rise. But if you cut at me, it can't be reversed. I can't give you the opportunity to finish me. That's your loss. Okay? So that's the reason why when I get on here, I do what I'm supposed to do and I move on. Okay? Because people have to keep their eye on, stay focused, because everybody in their cities, everybody got family members that's out there. They do. People are hurting now. You get these black politicians, they beg you, please vote for me. We need somebody that look like us, that know exactly what we going through. And then they get there and they sell out before the white folks do. At least with the white people, they have their own mind. These cuckabug heads get in a key position and then let somebody racist that's funding them control them. That's worse than any white person could ever do. Okay? I'd rather deal with somebody that's got their own mind than somebody that's a puppet. Okay? But then these black people get into these positions and they don't do what they're supposed to do. And then when it's time for them to be reelected, hey, Demand, when it's time for them to be reelected, they go to the church, they come out into the communities. Oh man, I ain't seen you in 4 years. Yeah. Is it election time? Yeah, it's election time. Also, that's why you came away from up under your rock. You want to finesse me into voting for you again. Instead, when somebody new pops up that could actually be helpful to the community, the first thing a lot of people was our people, because other communities don't do that. They'll give somebody a chance in a minute. And if they don't do what they're supposed to do, they just don't reelect them. But they don't give somebody the opportunity to screw them over 3 and 4 years, or 3 and 4 terms. They don't do it. That's why I respect that about other communities. But as long as somebody come up and they come out when it's time to be reelected in our communities, okay, and they go, I'm gonna do this, and they come with they'll go and get sponsorships from the white people or others that's controlling them, that's funding them. They say, well, we're gonna go to what's up to Lenny's, and I'm gonna have some of my partners. We're gonna buy all of them Lenny's sandwiches, and we're gonna you can go to the neighborhoods and give out Lenny's sandwiches and potato chips and give them sodas. Okay. And so that's what they do. Them politicians that you ain't seen in 4 years. And then what our people say, that surely is a good man. They forget about he ain't did a damn thing in 4 years, ain't did nothing, ain't heard from him, don't know what he done sold the black community out. And then they'll go and work with these slave owners to bring in certain jobs. And the slave masters will say, now, when we bring this business in, we'll make it seem like you brought it in, but this company is going to come. But what we need you to do is put a temporary service in there. Okay. This is what they tell the cuckabug heads. Put a temporary service in there. If you want to, if you got somebody that's got a temporary service, we'll help you out. You can go and let them put it in there. But hey, I can let my daughter put her temporary service in there because we don't want to have to pay them no insurance. Okay. The temporary service is going to get the biggest of the money. And then they say, look at what I did. We helped to bring this plant to Memphis or around Memphis, but it's still slavery. There's a company called Technicolor that's supposed to be paying black folks $20 an hour. And a temporary service is getting it all. Do y'all hear me? But this is what the black people doing. They selling us out, child. That's the reason poverty ignites crime. They don't give a damn about what's going on in Memphis. They wanted to go on in Memphis. They dropped the drugs and shit off in Memphis. Hell, where these black folks getting this fentanyl from? Hell, I had never even heard of horse tranquilizers. Ain't no black people got no horses. So where is it really coming from? But we fall for the okie doke because we feel like we're our own worst enemy. If you're going to be successful, you my enemy. Now, I got on here, stuff I had before I ever even got on here. Folks started trying to come at me thinking they could stop whatever it was that I had. We all over their ass. Okay? But that's how black people are. We're going to dig. We're going to see who she used to screw. All you had to ask me was who I used to screw. None of your motherfucking business. Who I give my ass to. Okay? But if you had asked me, instead of trying to dig, I'd have told you, it ain't your business. Okay? But instead, our people are so mentally sick. And these are older people in their 40s and 50s and shit, late 30s, that's doing this shit. Okay? They so mentally sick. They want some dirt on you. She ain't got everything she said she had. I got more than what you got. Okay, because if you all you got to do is try to dig up something on me, that means you ain't got nothing going on. Because I don't give a damn about what you got going on. Okay, that's how people are. Crabs in a barrel mentality. Okay, and so our people are in the position that they are in. Okay, because of the mentality that we had. I'm not gonna get on here and crawl in a barrel. That you always going to the police, and I goes to the FBI too. Violate me. The way folks get on here and send me all types of all kinds of different emails. I done had to make all kinds of different emails because I want to send you this, but I'm scared that to send it to that email. Okay, well I make up one and you can send it to that. All the receipts folks send me on what these folks do on here, y'all. The way that these people have violated, these women should be ashamed of themselves for how they have violated me. And they gonna look like damn fools sitting in jail in their 40s and 50s. And what did I do to them? Nothing. She just thinks she's something. That's what happened with Dolph. They killed Dolph because they said Dolph thought he was something. Okay? That's the mentality. And get on here and talk about they want justice for him. Got the same mentality that the people that took him out got. Okay? That's right, Miss Roberta. Kicking it with the root. I'm gonna tell you something. Memphis is a beautiful city. Memphis, this was engineered. They engineered it. I really did. It hurt me so bad to have to move outside of Memphis. Okay, because Memphis is a beautiful city. But the politicians, this was engineered because the people that's controlling the black politicians, hey, a lot of the white power brokers understand now. Oh, if we want to get more done, all we got to do is fund a black politician. Because see, if we run for office and we white and we start doing this stuff, they'll say we racist. We could get lawsuits. So what we'll do is we'll fund a black politician that's going to be a good boy or a good girl, and we'll get them to do all of this stuff that we want them to do in the black community. And they can't say that they're racist. As a matter of fact, the black people ain't gonna say nothing, okay, because they vote based on race anyways. And that's what's going on. A sold out, my dad used to say, a sold out Uncle Tom or Aunt Jane is way worse than any Klansman could ever be, because they can push them to do what a Klansman can't do, okay, and get away with it publicly, okay, in the black community. But when these black cuckabug heads get into office and do it, we can't say, they can't call them racist because they black. They can't prove that we the ones that's got them doing it. That's what pisses me off. Black folks ain't got no pride about nothing. You see your community suffering and you ain't got no pride. You'll do anything for a damn dollar. That's what pisses me off about a lot of these vloggers. You got a platform where you can put the truth out and you sell out for $1 and then try and take down somebody that you know gonna speak the truth because you jealous. But you can't take me down, okay? That can't happen. All right, because I have an army behind me. You just don't know it yet. Oh, but y'all gonna know it. Okay. I came with one. All right. But it's a darn shame, y'all. It's a darn shame before God how our people selling out. It's a darn shame with all of these black people being elected, okay, in the black community. Black people should have what is it? The cream of the crop. Whenever they should have all kinds of jobs and factories coming around Memphis. And the first thing they need to say is it ain't gonna be no damn temporary services because my people gonna come up out of bondage. You gonna pay them what they supposed to be paid, and you gonna give them good health insurance. You're not gonna give it to the temporary companies because Memphis is impoverished. My people get ready to come up out of bondage, but ain't no black people saying that. My daughter over the temporary service. Do you want a job? We paying $12, $15 an hour when they are actually supposed to be getting $25, $26 an hour. Okay? But black people let this happen. All you got to do is vote the politician out. But they won't do it because they'll come to the community and finesse them, go to the basketball court. I remember when Jim Strickland, he had did so bad the first time. I interviewed Jim Strickland. He got a real charismatic personality, okay? But he already knew he couldn't get close to me because my dad was not going to let him. When I interviewed him, my dad said, now let me tell you something. Strickland would try and give you all kinds of grants. He'll try to bring you in like he do the other cuckabug heads and get them all kinds of stuff. He said, but when I first started funding you, what did I say? I said, you told me don't sell out. He said, so when these politicians come through here, okay, I didn't fund you because they didn't fund you. I didn't fund you for you to sell out. And that's the reason why I don't sell out now. That's the reason why when they send their people at me on here, I don't sell out. Okay? And if I'm wrong about something, I'll go back and say, okay, that's what I thought. I was wrong. Okay? But I don't sell out for crumbs. I don't sell out for nothing. Because I understand what's for me. I'm going to get anyways. I got a mind where I know how to go and make some money. Okay? I know how to use my mind to go and make money. Okay? So I don't have to sell out and be somebody's damn slave. Okay? That's beneath me. Always have been, always will be. Okay? But I think that it's sad that our people, Memphis is a war zone because of black politicians being controlled by white power brokers. Well, if I don't sell my people out, I ain't gonna get to be the politician no more because they ain't gonna fund me. Well, motherfucker, Lord forgive me for that. That came out. We're not gonna vote for you. All we got to do is not vote for them. Get somebody else a chance. And if they don't do what they supposed to do, hey, you won't be reelected. That's how we teach people not to play with the black community. We're gonna give you a chance. 4 years is enough to do anything. But if you don't do what you're supposed to do, we're not gonna vote for you no more. That's what the white people do. That's what the Asians do. And I'm going to tell you something. There's repercussions in their community when you think you're going to get in their community and sell out. They just don't talk about it. If any other community put a politician up there, if they don't do what they're supposed to do and they think they're going to sell out, first of all, they're not going to sell out their people. They quietly handle them. There are repercussions. There are no repercussions in the black community for people selling us out. The only repercussions in the black community is when you trying to do right or you trying to build something, your own people want to take you out. Okay? It's only repercussions for trying to be all you can be in the black community. Okay? Your own folks want to take you up out of here. But in other communities, they don't do it. They're not going to do it. I've seen it. I see how they are successful. They don't let a politician come to. I've sat in the meetings. I promise you, the Republican Party hired me last year around the county elections to come and do video work. I was in the meetings that they was having. I was in them. They didn't let no politician walk up in there and say, well, I'm going to do this for the community. I'm going to do that. Hell no. They had their agenda. They said, this is what we need. We need something here. We need a park for the kids. We need this for the schools. This now, are you going to be able to do that? They had their own agenda. They know what they need in their damn communities. Yes, sir. I'll be able to do it. They said, okay, well, we're gonna go ahead and make sure don't nobody run against you. We're gonna stand behind you and pool our resources and put money behind you. But if you don't do what you're supposed to do, it ain't gonna be nothing personal. We just ain't gonna elect you in 4 years now. Don't make us regret it. We don't do that in the Black community. We let folks come and give us a song and a dance. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna give this. I'm gonna give that. They can't do a damn thing. They can't even do half the shit they say they're gonna do. But because it sounds good, okay, we go right along with it. Because pastors say that, this is a good man, this my friend, because he want his daughter to keep that director job, okay, that this person is able to give them through their influence. They trick the people. So at this point, y'all, we're our own worst enemy. In order for our community to do better, we're going to have to change our mindset. Look at what the shit they do on here. These black motherfuckers can't hack. Maybe one of them in Dallas can, because he going to jail. Pedophile, okay? But they went and got a lot of the Hispanics and people out of other communities to come and terrorize other black people on YouTube just because they felt like they wanted to be great. Okay? Them Hispanics ain't gonna let these cuckabug heads go over to their sector with their women and terrorize them. They ain't gonna do it. Okay? But black people usher, because of that jealousy, other people that know how to do certain things to destroy into their community and just let them have free reign. Go ahead, go. I don't care if you kill them, because they think they're gonna be great. And this is why our people have not advanced. Look at what they did to Dr. King. Dr. King had people in his own camp. I've read his books. We're going to read one of them books in the book club when we finish this one. He had his own people, okay, to turn against him because they was jealous, because he was getting all of the attention. Now they put him out front. Everybody ain't gonna get the same attention. He had the charisma to get it, but they all supposed to have been on one accord. But because he was getting all of the attention, although he was getting results, they got jealous of him and started lining him up. The same thing happened with Malcolm X. I read his books. We are our own worst enemy. All they got to do is give some of these black folks a pickle. You better not put no peppermint in it. They'll sell out any leader in the community. Okay? For a damn pickle with a peppermint in it. I ain't like that nigga anyway, but that pickle sure was good. He just thought he thought he was better than us, even though he was getting results, speaking the truth. Okay? Our people need some help. Okay? Our people need some help. Folks gone crazy over money. I see how they now I go back to Young Dolph because it's just absolutely unbelievable that they took Young Dolph out, okay, because of money. They thought that they was going to get to enjoy their money, but God said that's just not the laws of the earth. And now they're trying to destroy more lives to try to clean up something that they knew was not going to work out in the back of their mind anyway, but they allowed their jealousy to override them. So now they're destroying other people's lives. They're turning on folks who trusted, who they all was once together. They're turning on each other. Because I'm going to tell you what God says, okay? In any situation, when the devil thinks, that's why I don't worry about these devils teaming up. God says they come at you one way. And my mama always make me remember this scripture, okay? She was talking about it the other day when we was talking about some stuff that somebody told me that's going on YouTube, but hey, I'm all good with it because I'm ready for them, okay? But my mama said, remember this scripture, and she just started praying in the spirit right then when she said, remember it. She said, they come at you one way and they flee in 7 different ways. And she just started speaking in tongues because the spirit hit her. And she said, but you ain't going to have to worry about them devils, okay? Because God getting ready to remove them. She said, but they come at you one way and they flee in 7 different ways. That's what the Bible says. In other words, they start turning on each other. So you ain't got to worry about the devil when you walk in a righteous walk. Because God confuses the language. They'll all come at you thinking they're going to double team you because they jealous of you because they think you great. They done put you on a pedestal. You ain't studying that. You just walking your path. But then all of a sudden they just all start turning on each other because that's the plan of God. He says, touch not my anointed one. They start scattering out, killing each other, fighting with each other, telling on each other, start sending me emails talking about what this was planning on doing to me, send that to the FBI. That's what God allows them to do. Okay? Because he says they come at you one way and flee in 7 different ways because I'm going to confuse the language on them devils. So when you walk in a righteous walk, you don't have to worry about these people. Okay? They knew Dolph was going to be a billionaire. When he said that, whatever devil was looking at him say that on that interview, I'm willing to bet you, I don't have no proof, but I'm willing to bet you they decided that day, this nigga got to go. It wasn't about no girl. Some of these dudes that claim they fighting over women don't even like women. They like men. Okay? So it wasn't about no girl. It was about greatness, about destiny, about his destiny, his greatness that was on his life. And God let that nigga know, you put a hit on him and I'm gonna shake your life up, because he shook the earth. So when folks walking around here trying to play like they living their best life and they happy and they this and that, I know they ain't. They ain't happy because they know that God get back ain't nothing nice. They can't put a hit on that. That's why a lot of them have gone underground, because they know the power of God. Okay? They know the power of God. And they underground, they in a dark house at the front window with one blind up waiting for them alphabet folks, because they coming and they know it. It ain't no need of them putting a hit on nobody else in their camp, because the folks already know everything. They knew everything the night the young Dolph was killed. They might as well have left him alive. They may as well have just left him alone. So now look at what they're doing. They got folks going at Kenny Money. Kenny Money ain't went and killed nobody. Hell, Kenny Money been making his money, but Kenny Money is one of the ones that has been rising up. And I look at people, I can see it's bothering the brother. Don't let them see you sweat. You keep making your damn blue money and throwing it. Ain't no fans turn against you. That's they trolls that they done hired to come at you. Send that shit to the FBI. I bet you they trace it and they gonna come up off your ass. You'll be helping some of us out, because a lot of these trolls that's on here trolling us hired by them. Okay? Them the same folks. Send that shit to the FBI. Because you want a Young Dolph's artist, they'll get on it quick. And I bet you're going to see us a high troll from the same people that's been trolling some of these folks for Young Dolph that's on YouTube, okay? Ain't no fans turn against them. Keep being great and watch your back. Get security around you 24/7. Because these folks feel like this is our opportunity to finish taking out Young Dolph's artists. And if Trula Mafia ain't careful, if anybody know anything about this Young Dolph situation, they're going to take them out. Okay? I'm talking about the people that paid for the hit on Dolph. Okay? But they concocting a scheme to do the same thing that they did to Straight Drop. Okay? Look at how they left Straight Drop out there. I wouldn't have a meeting at somebody's restaurant who did somebody that's supposedly in my gang like they did him. But they trying to use the emotions and the pain of what The ones that was truly loyal to that was around Teasy Field to try to get them to crash out like they did straight drop them. They got straight drop in them emotional. And then they dangled money in their face and got them to go do that to Young Dolph. Okay. Hold on, y'all. Just when I thought I had got out of keeping Juki. Now I thought my sister was supposed to keep her. She had to sneak one in on me, and y'all, she up. She up early because I heard her talking. Ah, yeah, 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 yeah. She up loud and talking. Whew, Lord have mercy. Okay. I sure don't want to keep her. I mean, she up talking loud. But it's a shame before God, y'all, what's going on in our community. In order, we always looking on the outside. Okay. We're supposed to be able to look in the inside. Okay. We always looking on the outside for help. Okay. When we're supposed to be looking on the inside, I'm gonna tell you another thing. We have leaders, black leaders, and I don't mean no harm. Rest in peace to Barbara Cooper. Barbara Cooper was a state representative, and she died last year at, I believe she was what, 98. Why in the world would they keep electing a woman, okay, and let her die in her seat? She literally died in her seat, y'all, at 98 years old, a state representative. Miss Cooper could not even walk anymore, but black people kept electing her because she had been in her seat all of that time. Miss Cooper talked about how she used to, how she came up when she was a maid for black people, and how she could only walk in through the back door. Okay. But black folks kept electing her instead of putting a young, fresh mind in there and letting Miss Cooper give them a little wisdom. But it was time for her to go years ago, y'all. She died in the seat. And that's why I say we are our own worst enemy, because we continuously elect people based on name. Well, I know she can't walk and she can't see and she can't hear, but she blind and can't hear no more, and they have to roll her in on a wheelchair. She can't stay woke, but she been there all them many years. She know the seat. Y'all, this is the mentality of our people. And a lot of these people, and I'm not talking about Miss Cooper, rest in peace, I love Miss Cooper, but Miss Cooper should have been gone 30 years ago. Black people kept re-electing her because of her name. Her mind sharp, she still know who she is. Instead of putting a young, fresh mind in there that's gonna fight. I like fighters. Okay, and I'm talking about fighting for a cause. I like people that stand for something and don't bend. Okay. We ain't got nobody fighting for our community, and we don't fight for our own community. We fight against our community because of that jealousy demon and because of the lack of knowledge. Our people got to get some knowledge, but you got to want to have it. Politics is what we should be all up in. Damn the presidential election, other than get Biden ass out. That's another one. He too see now. Y'all, we can't take another 4 years of Biden. If we have another 4 years of Biden, I might have to go get me a job, because he making sure he wipe out everything. It ain't no money floating, no nothing. Even the white folks ain't got no money hardly to pay me. Okay, you know, when white folks ain't hardly got no money, it's bad. Okay, I told him, well, look here, I don't know what to tell you, because I don't go down on my prices. I ain't never had no white folks to say, go to, do you have any deals? But Biden got to go. Okay, he got to go. They doing all that they can, and I know people get mad at me when I get to talking about when Trump was in office, that money was circulating. Folks had money, y'all. I had so much business, it was ridiculous. Okay, I would wake up, my mouth would be wide open, my computer would be, my laptop would be on the floor. I'd go to sleep working and wake up working. Okay, because he had that money circulating. The first thing Biden did when he got into office was he stripped all of the finance for the minority businesses. I ain't telling you what I heard. I'm telling you what I know. And I know folks be saying, I know, because I took grant classes and things of that nature. You can't hardly get no grant without putting some bullshit on there. And I don't mess with the federal government like that. These folks that's doing that shit is going to regret it. Okay. Y'all make sure these folks ain't getting grants in your name too. That's another thing. We're gonna have a. I'm gonna get somebody on here. As we're gonna talk about that in the. These folks have lost their minds. These folks is getting grants in other folks' names with their business name, and they getting the damn money on YouTube. Okay. But folks get mad at me for talking about Trump. Hell, they say Trump racist. I said, well, hell, Biden racist. I'd rather have a racist that, I know where he coming from. Hell, he ain't trying to. Trump was he was letting those black men out. Okay, he was pardoning a lot of black men. Biden helped to lock up black men because he helped Bill Clinton to create that three strikes bill. And that's what I'm talking about, our mentality. I don't mean no harm, because I feel like people supposed to, whether you're white or black, interracial couples, hey, I'm all for love as long as it's healthy and love. But people was talking about Bill Clinton was our first black president because he had a thing for black women. Y'all, the slave masters loved the black women. We had booties and hips and breasts and all of that. They was raping them. So because Bill Clinton had a thing for black women, black folks loved him, and he didn't do a damn thing but put black men in jail. He was one of them type that felt this way. Dog out the black man, screw the black women. I'm telling you, he had that slave that slave master's mentality. Dog out black men and screw black women. Okay. That's the reason why he created that three strikes bill, because he didn't give a damn about productive black men, and Biden was right with him. Folks act like they don't remember when Biden started running in the 60s, that when they was trying to integrate schools, he said it would be a tragedy for his black kids, for his white kids to have to go to school with black kids. And then white folks gonna say, well, black folks gonna say, well, I know he had said that, but people had changed it. That's our people. He had said that, but people had changed it. You can't change a racist mind. And he just smiled in your face. He done learned. He got a way of dealing with, knowing how to deal with black people. Okay. And what he do? The first thing he did was he went up on the welfare. He stripped all of the resources as it relates to businesses building generational wealth, and said, I'm a double your welfare. Ain't that some shit? He wanted to put black people back in their place. Okay. What Trump said, well, look here, we'll find a way to get you away from that welfare, but I'm gonna put the money out there so you can build some generational wealth. They said, no, because black folks ain't supposed to have generational wealth. It'll never be another Black Wall Street. Trump got to go. Okay. But we okay as long as we think somebody giving us something. Don't give me nothing free. Put that money that them celebrities and them grants that they supposed to give black people, like they've been doing to Asians. It ain't right for the Asians to come into this country, and I ain't got nothing against Asians, and set up in the black communities. We supposed to own all them damn beauty supply stores. But we okay with the Asians owning it as long as it ain't a black person. The Asians own it. Oh, okay. They're going to follow you around the store, let you know you're going to steal from me. Okay. It's okay for Sally's, and ain't no telling what color Sally is. Okay. to own a beauty supply store. But as soon as you find out it's a black person, they're gonna go rob and steal and try to kill the owner. They had thought they was something on the beauty supply store. They know all the Asians supposed to own it. Black folks, they'll let the Asians pay them to put a hit on a black person. I killed her for the Asians because she was trying to take over their business, you cuckabug head. Okay. So it ain't nothing gonna change in our community, y'all, until we change our mindset. The reason they always try to keep us divided is because they know that there is unity in their strength in numbers. Okay. Oh wow. Joe Loves God says, "Truth, he designed it to keep our people out of work." Right. I'm telling you. I went and took some classes, you guys, and got my certificates as it relates to writing grants. I know how to write grants. You don't get a I don't get a I get a lot of white business because that it's gonna be they don't want to go through no loopholes. I think it's a darn shame. But when I get black people to come to me for that, um I'll tell them, that, well, can't you do this? I used to go there to such and such, and she got me this amount of money. You ain't get ready to get me locked up. And I go, well, all you got to do is do this and do that and do that. We're gonna have to do this right now. You trying to hold our people down. Okay. So our people need to change, okay, the mindset. It ain't gonna get no better until we start doing better. Okay. Why y'all think that another Malcolm X and another Medgar Evers and another Martin Luther King has not risen up? Okay. Because every time one start trying to rise up, they kill them. And they use black people to infiltrate. Now they have way more intelligence now. They're weaponizing food and stuff like that to kill you. Okay? But they've always used a cuckabug head to infiltrate a leader that would be beneficial not just to them but their lineage, because it ain't even about us, y'all. It's about the generations that come behind us. Why y'all think I be on the heads of these OGs that's supposed to be teaching these young dudes to do better, at least trying, even if they don't listen, they supposed to put positive energy into the atmosphere, because it ain't about us, y'all. We're gonna be off of the scene real soon. If we want to keep our race going, we got to put positivity and wisdom and knowledge into the generations that come behind us, and that's our kids and grandkids. But people are so selfish now, everything about them. I'm mad. I killed them because I was mad. Man, damn all that, damn my kids. It's about me. That's how folks feel now. Okay. I think it's a shame before God how people bamboozle black people. I love my people. I do. And so when I say it bothers me, I mean that. That's why I talk about it. I'm not studying these damn men because I already know if one come near me trying to do anything, we're going to go ahead and cap them. It's going to be a war for real. But it bothers me to see how black men are so comfortable with violating women and children. You got black men on here that's into human trafficking. in human trafficking rings, y'all. These young ladies are our future. Not only are they getting the ones that's running away, they helping to snatch them up. We don't think nothing about why we see the roles changing. Let's go ahead and talk about it. I don't have nothing against no gay person. Never have, never will. But y'all don't see that they took Minister Farrakhan off of the airways because he went and got black scientists to see what they was doing to the vaccinations and changing the roles. The reason you see a lot of these girls acting like boys and these boys acting like girls, y'all, we are chemical beings and they working on us. It's in a lot of these vaccinations that they're putting these hormones in to twist our children up because they fear the black man. They want them to be women. They don't want them to be muscular and manly in case there's a war. It could never be another Shaka Zulu tribe. They fear that. Okay? But they're weaponizing the medicine and the food. Okay? I know they putting hormones in the food because I was in the mirror the other day. I had a piece of hair growing out of my chin. I said, the devil is a lie. My hormones supposed to go, but that's your hormones. Ain't no woman got no business with a piece of hair growing out of their damn chin. I said, I don't know what it is, but I'm changing my diet. Okay? That's right, Duke Famous. It is frustrating when it's your own people. I don't buy, I don't, but hold on. I don't, but they doing too much. And my daughter gay. Wow. It's absolutely, and I don't have anything against gay people. It's just that I've watched to see what they're doing. I have cousins that that are gay, male and a male and a couple females. Kicking it with Rook says, yes, I love us, and I love them. I love them with all of my soul. Yes, but I love us. It hurts me to the core to watch the news now. We can't even pull up to the Lowe's on at Winchester and Hacks Cross. Can't go to the Wolf Chase Mall. They out here with ski. Absolutely, they at the Wolf Chase Mall, and it makes me mad because they was doing this when I was working for the police department, and it pisses me off that the police department won't put out a lot of this stuff because they go, well, we don't want to send pandemonium. Now y'all don't want the citizens on your ass to make sure you catch a lot of these people. That's all it's about. I won't even I don't even want let my daughters go to the mall because the Wolf Chase Mall, that used to really be a really nice mall in a nice area, has become a stomping ground for human trafficking. They have men in vans riding around, been doing it for a long time now, watching for girls to come out of the mall by themselves so they can snatch them up and put them in the van. Okay. That's right, Hero Fix TV. Hero Fix TV said black business is literally going broke under Biden. I know, I am one. Had to sell all my sports cars to keep my. I'm telling you, black businesses are low. I made so much. I'm gonna tell y'all something, and it's because I do. I'm gonna tell. If I was not doing several things, and I'm just so glad that I've always had that in me to learn several things and make it into a business. Yeah, I would be up shit creek too. I would have to go get me a job. Okay. I don't have a problem either, but I do have a problem with that agenda being forced on. Right. On society, right. If a person is born like that, that's one thing. But when you're using it through, you weaponizing it, putting chemicals in vaccinations and things of that nature, no. Okay. One of the things that I do appreciate that Trump did, I don't shop in Target now. Target too damn high anyways. But I used to like to go into the super Target to get the good fruit. But I don't go into Target. You know why? Because up under the up under the Obama Biden administration, he fixed it where you could be neutral gender as it relates to bathrooms. It was so many women and children being violated when they changed that. Obama said if you felt like a woman that day, you could walk into a female's restroom, and you had women and children being raped. Look at how that man walked into the Macy's in a female restroom, and the security guard in Macy's was looking right at him and absolutely raped her brutally did. And the security guard said, I saw him going in, but that was up under the Obama administration where he couldn't do nothing. And when it got on the train, okay? When Biden got into office, he hurried up and reversed that. You had people saying that he was homophobic and things of that nature. Ain't no man got no business going into no female restroom. Well, when Biden got into office, he changed it again. And now Target has their restrooms neutral gender. I can't go into a store where I don't feel safe. I might have to pee. And if I got to pee, I don't want to see no man peeking in through the stall at me because he talked about he felt like a woman. So I just don't go in Target, and I told my kids not to go in there. Okay. Absolute. It goes back, Vitican, to what I was saying. They did a lot of stuff up under Obama, and we was proud of Obama. He was handsome. He's a black man. He had a chocolate black wife. He had chocolate children. We was proud to have a black man in the White House. But Obama had to do what they told him to do. A lot of stuff that they passed up under Obama, they never would have passed up under a white president. I was so hurt when I saw Obama, when I started getting into politics around Obama's second term. My dad started teaching me politics, and I was so hurt that Obama, they asked Obama when he was getting all of these setting up the all of the people in the Hispanic community and getting them funds and schools, making their schools and stuff better. He was doing all of this stuff for other communities. And then they said, well, Mr. President, what about the black people? And he said, well, I can't just be the president for the black people. And the black people wasn't asking him just to be the president for the black people. They said, what about us? You doing this for everybody else? What about us? And he said that hurt me. Because it was people that had never voted before went and got registered just so that they could vote for Obama. Okay. When they had a riot, I believe it was in Baltimore at that time because of a police killing, and nothing happened to the white police officer, and there was a riot. And instead of Obama understanding, neutralizing it, because I don't believe in violence like that, Obama, instead of seeing the hurt of these people, he called them thugs and stuff. Okay. So everybody that's got black skin ain't black, okay? Always remember that. Folks let Biden pull one over you by going to get that woman, that woman with that black skin that ain't never in her life been able to say she was black. I've never heard Kamala say that she was black, and Kamala don't even identify with black women. She don't say she's black. She says that her mother is Indian and her dad is Jamaican. A Jamaican is a black man, but she couldn't fix her mouth to say that. She couldn't pass for nothing else. But, she's got a white husband, and all of this lady does not identify with black women. Okay. But they was able to play on the emotions of black women and people to vote this senile ass man in that then put our economy in bankruptcy, I believe. Okay. He used the black woman. That's one of the issues that I got with Chief Davis. People on the outside of Memphis don't know what's really going on as it relates to Chief Davis. Chief Davis ain't running nothing. That mayor is running it. Everybody in Memphis know that. Okay? Chief Davis was put there to be a bobblehead instead of being a strong black woman and saying, "Well, listen, I have to resign because I ain't with this. I can't go along with this." She just want the money. She want the money and the title. And so that's the reason why people that really know point the finger at Jim Strickland, because she can't do nothing unless he tell her. The Memphians didn't want Chief Davis. Memphians didn't even know where she came from. The lady didn't even apply for the damn job. They didn't want nobody strong there. They wanted somebody that they can control. And then when that stuff happened with Tyree Nichols, what happened? They put it right on her shoulder and he was comfortable with hiding behind her. That's the reason why the activist was not at the police station picketing. They was in front of City Hall because the Memphians knew where the shit had came from, who was really behind a lot of this stuff. Okay? And so that's my issue with black people, that they willing to be used for a title and some damn money. Okay? Joe Loves God says people don't realize that the president is the commander and chief of the military. The Senate and the House approved the laws, absolutely, presented by our state representatives. Absolutely. People don't pay a whole lot of attention to the senators. We should, your mayor, I'm gonna tell you, in your county, your sheriff, your district attorney, okay, and your judges are the three most important people in your county because they can affect your life. Okay, they can affect your livelihood daily. If the judge, the prosecutor, and the sheriff, if they work together and they crooked, they can ruin your whole damn life. But people don't even get out and vote for judges, and then have the nerve to talk about them. They become so clever around the Mid-South area, they don't even advertise when it's a judge race going on like that, because they don't want folks to get out and vote. They want them same damn judges that ain't worth a damn to go and be reelected by their friends. Okay? The turnout is so low that it don't make no sense. Now, that district attorney that they got in Memphis, I'm gonna tell y'all something. Okay? That district attorney, that he's I guess he's he's a Democrat, and so they thought he was gonna be real liberal, and now they're a little mad at him because see, they wanted him because he's never practiced. They say he's never practiced law. He's a lawyer, but he's always been a law professor at the University of Memphis. So he always taught the lawyers, that came through the law school. So they thought he was gonna be liberal because he was talking all that liberal talk. And the first thing he said was, he started talking like a Republican. What we're gonna have to start doing is utilizing the death penalty. Oh my God, they got mad. Wait a minute, he done tricked us because he's supposed to let us run wild and rampant and let these folks back out like they've been doing, so that they could tear up the black community and we could make all the damn money. But when he started talking about the death penalty, they got mad. He said, well, now, if the death penalty is against the law, hell, why they got it on the books? Hold on, y'all. Hello. No, this is me. Okay. I got so many damn phones. My kids don't even know the numbers. Hey, I got a call from this number. Okay. Um. Yeah, she about to drop the baby off. Yeah, that took my spirit. That baby, and she's still talking. She in the car, and she's still talking. I could hear her in the back in the car in her car seat in the back talking still. Yes, they got US distracted, and most of us don't know we're under a new economic system. And if we don't start educating one another, we're doomed. There will be no entitlement programs in the new system. Wow. Wow. Whew. I thought her auntie was gonna keep her too. I thought my sister was supposed to keep her, but I guess my daughter got to go somewhere this eat. She had too much to do to have a baby. It ain't like she ain't got a baby no more. I mean, it ain't like she could just roam around freely like she used to. She got a damn baby now. That's true. Player call. He says our people been selling each other out since slavery. Miss T, bring Juicy to me. I'm just across the bridge. It would be a pleasure. I wish I will do that. She gonna talk you out of house and home. And then when I lay her down, she put her toes up, try to put her toes up to my face because she want me to kiss her feet. On it said co-figure teaches on this subject, politics, America, and so on. Right, co-figure teaches on that, and you know what? He does a good job. TB21 says it's good she get out during the day instead of night. That's true. Hey Lucille, good morning. But yeah, Memphis has become a war zone, and I think that is sad that we saw the other day the media. Y'all see how they use the media. Hey Steven, I'm gonna send you something via email. Tell me how I should handle it. Okay. Um, Y'all see how they use the media to do it. Y'all see what that lady got on the national news and did the other day. She got on the national news and tried to incite a war. That's what she did. And the mere fact that she was not disciplined, that lets me know that the production company that's over that news channel was in on it because they was paid. This is what they do. A black woman used her to try to incite a war. It's a darn shame. That would be awesome, Clarinetta. I have a lot of respect for Coat Figure. I do. Hey, Miss Terrell. Hey, Cypress. And then said it slid between the rigorous screening process. Wow. They wrong for that. They tried to incite a war, and it was because they was paid. Somebody paid them with some borrowed money from Interscope. She's going to be reprimanded because pre-attorney is going to sue. They tell good. That's the only way they're gonna reprimand her if their attorneys if the attorneys say something. The attorneys send them something because she actually tried. She defamed and tried to diminish what this man had. Y'all, I'm trying to see how many likes we got in here. I forgot to see. If you haven't hit the like button, please hit the like button. Y'all run the likes up. It's almost 200 people. So run the likes up. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Okay. Please like, share, and subscribe. Okay. So y'all, it's gotta, in order for our community to change, because we have all the power. Like I say, that's the reason they always want to keep black people divided, right? They always want to keep black people divided because they know that there's strength in numbers. If we stay divided, can you imagine if all of the medias came together and decided that they was going to put the correct information out instead of being bought out for a grilled cheese sandwich? The effects that it could have in our communities, it couldn't do anything but prosper because God gonna make sure it prospers. But instead, so many people are reaping what they sow. Okay, so many people are reaping what they sow. Okay, because of the evilness that is going on. Okay, because of the evilness. So I don't know if it's election time, you guys. I know it's election time for the communities around our area, around the Mississippi area and around the Memphis area. Y'all need to see if it's time for the city elections um around the Memphis community, around the I mean, see if it's election time for the communities around y'all's areas. That's something we'll talk about in our book club, because I would love for some of you all to, with some of the things we're going to do, I would love for some of you all to start getting involved with some of the people within you all cities and stuff. I'm talking about the leaders, and and start making a difference. Okay. Hey, Anissa. That's so true, Lucia. Ain't it? if we were one vote, we could get our millions to our community. Absolutely. There, you know what? They've made black people feel like that now all of the free work, they forced slaves to come over here, and now they try to say, well, black people since had sold slaves. I wouldn't care. They stole a lot of the blacks from Africa, forced them into slavery. Okay. And they work. White people, a lot of white people have generational wealth because they that slaves worked for their ancestors for free. Who couldn't be rich if they had people working for them for free? So a lot of what they had was built off the back of our ancestors, and they feel like black folks ain't supposed to get reparations. And they got a lot of cuckabug heads. They put them in place, and a lot of other cuckabug. Well, we passed that. We ain't. We shouldn't want that. We shouldn't want no handout. That ain't no goddamn handout. Them folks work for that, and they are no longer alive. So the generations that came behind them should get it. They do it for the Jews. I had no idea, and I don't mean no harm. I had no idea that the Jews in the United States was getting reparations from the United States. Where did that Holocaust happen at? Went it over in Germany or something? They getting reparations in the United States, but they don't want the black people who actually were made to be slaves and beat and killed to get it. And you got cuckabug heads standing behind it. Okay. Okay. The Indians too. The Indians need to black, but I don't blame the Indians at this point for not wanting to partner with black people. Indians are black people anyways. But because black people are too divided, that's the reason why they go stay on their reservation or whatever it's called, a preservation. What do the Indians stay on? The preservation, the reservation, or whatever, and they just stay off by themselves. Okay, because at this point, black people ain't united enough for anybody to, not even the Africans. They don't even want nothing to do with us because we're too westernized and too divided. First of all, we got to clean up our communities. We got to clean up our communities, y'all. And it has to start in our own front yard. We always looking at other stuff, but we got to clean up our own house. These folks, that these dudes and these girls that's out here stealing and robbing and killing and whoring, they coming out of a lot of our households. These are our children. So we got to help to clean up our own communities. And it's getting worse and worse because the mothers are getting younger and younger when they have these kids that we see now. They're already on drugs. Now, I don't understand these old heads getting sprung. Nigga, you knew before you went and popped that pill what it was going to do. You knew what crack going to do at 50 years old. You knew what it was going to do to you before you went and took it. I get mad at these old niggas getting on drugs and stuff now. Hell, you knew to just say no back in the damn 80s. But I done went and got on drugs. I had need help. I didn't know it was going to do me like that. Nigga, you 55 years old. You was saying just say no in the 70s. Okay? Hell, we can't even help the young folks because these old folks done shot off. We trying to help the young people get off of the drugs. Some niggas 60, 70 years old and went and started popping fentanyl. They put the drugs in the community for the black people to destroy us. Nigga, you 70. You done went and tried fentanyl and you know you knew better. You came from a whole damn different era. Now we got to try to help a 70-year-old nigga to get out fentanyl when we need to be putting all our attention on these kids. We got to stop and help him. Okay? You got one foot in the damn grave and you done decided to go try heroin instead of trying to get your life right at 70 years old so you can go on to wherever you going to go. Hell, I'm talking about on to the next life, wherever that leads you to. Okay? But you done went and got on drugs. And because you still alive, you ruining your grandkids and great grandkids' life. Hell. You messing with young girls. You getting damn babies. You know you 75 years old. God don't give you but 75. Anything else, you living on grace. You done went and got a young girl pregnant that's on pills. She already junked out. And you ain't got but about 2 years. So these babies are left out here with nobody. Okay? Okay? Whew. I never thought I would live to see the day where men would violate women in the open. You think about what happens in New York when they say they down there on that train. That's why when I'm in New York, I don't like going down there getting on that subway. I just don't like going underground. Okay? And and so they had gotten to a point where they was really sexually assaulting women. And the folks in New York said they didn't want to get in it, and they would let men just out in the open do it. What kind of world we coming to? That men and women don't get together and take whoever that nigga is that's doing that and throw him on that train track. Wait till the train come up and then throw his ass out there on that train track. That's what you call justice. Okay. You got that right, to Miss Terrell. I thought about him earlier. Clarence Thomas. You know he the number one. He really the number one. Joe says New York is a hellhole. Yeah, make sure y'all hit the run them likes up. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. But run the likes up. Like, share, subscribe. Yep, like, share, and subscribe. And Miss T, just like the 4-year-old baby girl killed by her daughter, boyfriend in Orange Mountain, and apparently, yes, I did a video on that yesterday. That's so sad. It is. It's so sad. It takes a village to teach. Cowards know where they can get away with mess. That's true. Mm, mm, mm. Y'all jukey out there in the driveway. Lord have mercy. Um, and I'm looking at her on camera and she talking. They need to crack down on this crime in Memphis. Seems I'm not getting notifications anymore. Miss Paula, I think they say in order to reset it, I told y'all. Hold on. Okay, you guys, I'm back. I told y'all she here. MJ says you got mamas competing with daughters and fathers waiting on the next big licks that will ever. I'm telling you, y'all. Let me tell y'all something. A lot of these folks, when they be on the news and stuff, when they be on the news and stuff, they know exactly what it is that their kids are doing. Okay, they know exactly what it is, but because they benefiting from what their kids do, they don't say nothing. They know when they see their sons driving these foreign cars, and they know that cars be stolen. They don't care. They'll tell mama, we gonna change the VIN number and I'm gonna give it to you. But as soon as they son go somewhere and somebody y'all try to steal a car and get popped, that's when you see them on the news, hollering and screaming, talking about my son. My son ain't never did nothing to nobody. They ain't have to kill my son. This and that. They know their sons the ones burglarizing the very neighborhood that they living in. And because they benefiting from it, okay, they ain't saying a word about it. That's the reason why I said that in order to heal our communities, it's got to start from the inside out. Folks gonna have to start dealing with their own kids, because if they don't deal with it from in the inside, it's gonna go outwards. These kids, they kids the ones that's robbing folks. Okay, girl, I don't want to talk to you, girl. I don't want to talk to you. They know exactly what's going on. Yeah, if y'all haven't hit the like button, make sure y'all hit the like button. Since I have 3 boys and I be on their ass. That's right. And so when they say, a lot of these boys are like they are because they didn't have fathers and things of that nature. Yeah, fathers need to be role models in their children's lives. But women been raising black boys since the beginning of time. A lot of them by themselves, and they didn't come. They came. A lot of them came out to be. More of them came out to be honorable black men that came out of single parent households. So I'm not giving excuses to that. Folks got to watch what they do and let their kids do. People just don't care no more. Folks have an excuse for everything. I don't like people that have excuses for everything. I know in Alabama here I say, I love her so much. I love her so much. I love her so much. Look at her start grinning. Okay. She's not hungry, so. Yes, she is juicy. Um, Hold on. Let's see. You you left it. Yeah. Hold on, you guys. Mm. Looks like them snacks you keep by the bed. My boy's dad is a complete deadbeat. He's been in Memphis City schools, loving on everybody else kids for years, but that ain't no excuse. I still raised them to be respectful. Absolutely. Teacher's pet. What snacks? What snacks are you? Who you talk about? Um, so pretty Miss Kitty says after membership, how do you get the book? The book has to be ordered. You got to protect these babies, y'all. My boy is 12, and I don't sugarcoat nothing with him. I tell him these next 8 years is the most important in his life. It determines your future. Absolutely. I agree. I agree. He said South Florida on fire this morning. I have one of my friends live in Florida. She said that it's a lot of crime in Florida also. She lives in Fort Lauderdale. Clarinet. What part of Florida are you in, Clarinet? Are you in South Florida or are you in Northern Florida? I heard Ray Lewis' son OD. Oh my God. Mm. Hey, Miss Sherry. But y'all, in a nutshell, in order to do better, our mindsets are gonna have to change because we hold all the cards. in our community. And like I said, in order to continuously keep us in the conditions that we are in, the recipe for them is the divisiveness. To use people. That's the reason why it pisses me off so bad with people like Gotti. How could they feel comfortable in doing what they did to Young Dog? That's it. First of all, number one, it was evil on so many levels. But then you take out a leader because of your jealousy, your anger, and God ain't pleased with that. I'm telling you, it's gonna be a lot of heads to roll for that. I'm talking about as it relates to that God get back. A leader, awesome father. Right. The men are supposed, the order is, from my understanding, God, the man, the woman, and the children, which means that the man is supposed to have a direct connection with God and hearing from God so that he can have the wisdom to lead and protect his women and his children. But that is not happening in a whole lot of situations, and God ain't pleased with that. Respect, teaching a kid to be business minded is best. What white kid, running around saying yes, ma'am, and yes, sir? Hey, Angelina. I'm a little north of Lauderdale. I'm in South Palm Beach. Okay, you in Palm Beach. Okay. Because I know whenever I've gone, she'd be like, you can take your flight into Fort Lauderdale or into Palm Beach. Um, Miami is not that far either because we always go hang out in Miami. We went to this seafood restaurant in Miami that was in this hotel. It was all you could eat. It was really good. Um, but y'all know what? Miami is not like it. Miami is really raggedy. We need to normalize therapy in the black community. So many wouldn't self medicate if they properly heal their trauma. I agree. I agree. A lot of our people are traumatized. That's the reason why I say, when people get on drugs and things of that nature, it affects their children because of what they see their kids do, what they see their parents doing and taking to while they're on drugs, and the things that happens to vulnerable children when their parents are on drugs. When they're high, people are taking advantage of these people's children. And some of these mothers are flat foot so stoned out of their mind. They want that stuff so bad, they will, make their kids do some strange stuff. And it's just sad. It happens. It happens, you guys. It happens. It's so sad. Oh, okay. He says Miami, Lauderdale, and Palm Beach run together. They all used to be Miami. Because when we go to Miami, Miami is like 25 minutes from her or 30. But she drives so fast. Ooh, I ain't never in my life seen nobody drive that fast. Now we went down to Naples, and I like Naples. That's like a retirement town. Um, but it was just we went down to Naples to the beach, and I think Naples was like an hour from Fort Lauderdale, or so, an hour or so. We went to Naples to the beach, but the water in Fort Lauderdale was way more beautiful because I don't know what was going on in Naples, but that's like a retirement town. It was just a lot of drunk white people down there, child, hanging out at bars. But they was friendly. Therapy is a beautiful thing. Most black people think it's useless. It was once. one of the best things I've ever done. I was saying that yesterday to somebody. I was like, they was telling me about how therapy had really helped them. And I was like, you know what? I think that because I internalized a whole lot of stuff. Like I hadn't dealt with a lot of like my grandmother's death. I didn't really deal with that. And even though I seem to be doing well with my dad's death, it normally it'll hit me. It's still a lot of stuff that I do everything that I can do to try and stay away from my office because like the way like my dad always had notepads and stuff that he wrote on. I refuse to move them. So it bothers me when I walk in there and I see like those yellow notepads that he would write on with the ink pen still laying on top of the notepad exactly the way that he left it. I just refuse to move it, you know. He had a cup there that he left on one of my desks. I refuse to move that. So when I go in there, I don't even look to the right. I just walk straight in. I do what I need to do, and I'm out of there. Of course, the work that I do keeps me out of the office, anyways. You know, but normally I would go and be in my office and stuff all the time. But it's just gonna take a minute. 10 years and I'm down to cussing, but I've come so far. Pray the Most High, and I learned to forgive myself. Yeah. So I thought about that. I was like, I think I might go, you know, because you know how families are, they don't believe in therapy and stuff. I did try to get therapy when my grandmother, I went to grief counseling when my grandmother had passed. Because and I waited, it was almost like the next year, and it hit me like, oh my God, my grandmama ain't coming back anymore. But I quit going when the shoot, the guy tried to put me on medicine, and come to find out he had a contract with some psychiatrists. Whereas if they shoot, I said, no, you're not gonna put me on no medicine. Hell, I got grief. I ain't crazy. I'm not gonna get on no medicine. Miss T, the Bible speaks of this generation, the lost. It definitely is the lost generation. Me too. I push things to the back, then explode. That's no, it's not healthy at all. I lost my granny. God been holding my heart right now. She raised me. I totally understand how you feel. We lost my father-in-law in March, and my husband is taking it really hard. I told him he should look into grief counseling can be good. I got grief counseling for my sister's death, but I may start. Yeah, it's good to go. You know, it is. It's good to go. Um, what's wrong with you, girl? What's wrong? You came here with your cute little shoes and stuff on. Why are you trying to show out? Oh, okay, you want your keys here. How you see them keys way over there? She started reaching for them. Um, our life feels like it's at a complete pause. We were traveling, working on our YouTube that we started in August, and now we are just at a complete pause. I'm just now starting to get back on here. I'm sorry about your loss. I remember right before my dad had passed, like a few days when the doctor said that, you know, that it was going to be any day, that there was nothing else that we can do. I remember I called my mama and I was just devastated. And I told my mom, I said, I don't want to do TV. I don't want to do media. I don't want to do anything. anymore because I was devastated. But guess what? You know, like my mom said, she said, you think your daddy would want you to do that? Just stop life, and the only thing that gives me solace about my dad's death is knowing how strong my dad was. And my dad didn't do anything unless he wanted to. And we don't know about conversations that they have with the Almighty in the spiritual realm. With a lot of the complications that my dad had from diabetes. And that's the reason why we'll start talking more about that. Black people don't think that diabetes is that serious, but that's something that we definitely got to get under control because it causes so much. And I think the meds that they put them on too starts to help to deteriorate their body. But whatever's necessary to keep you off of that insulin and stuff, because you start having strokes. I think the medicine starts to give you cancer. I just think the complications from diabetes, whatever it is that they're putting in the food, it has your glucose or whatever off of they're just doing a number on us because we know the money is in the medicine, right? But a lot of people dying of heart attacks and strokes and things of that nature, that's coming from, a lot of that is from complications of diabetes. I'm sure we all need it in one way or another. It's tough out here. But God, everything will work out as it should. Oh, absolutely. Everything always work out the way, that it should. Everything always work out the way that it should. Diabetes was the start of the health issues with my father-in-law, and when he had the stroke and aneurysm, all of a sudden, a year later, which was this March, the doctors were questioning his medicine. Wow. You're right, boss lady. Therapy should be included. What you trying to whine about, girl? Yeah. You guys, have you all hit the like button? Let me see how many likes we got. Like, share, subscribe, of course. Yeah, y'all did really good with the likes. All right, you guys, I'm gonna get off of here, and me and the juke fruit, we're gonna go walking around the lake. I'm gonna put her in her stroller. We're gonna go walk around the lake before it gets too hot, and I can get my exercise in. But I appreciate you guys for getting on this morning. And the key thing is, in order for our communities to do better, we're gonna have to change our mentality. And it's going to have to start inward and go outward. So we're going to have to teach our children emotional stability so that they don't get mad and feel like they're supposed to be out here killing people, right? That's an emotional instability, a person not knowing how to handle their emotions and their anger. And you're right, boss lady. If we're going to talk about self-care, therapy should be one of them. Absolutely. But I appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I want you guys to know, if you would like to support the channel, you can definitely support the channel via Cash App. I want you guys to know that I love you. Thank you, Cynthia. Thank you, Dana Dan, for you all tuning in. Thank you, Yam and Boss Lady and Miss Roberta, Miss Diane, Joy Loves God. Shout out to my moderators. They absolutely rock. Kicking it with the Rooks. I'm glad to see you too, pretty Miss Kitty. Who else was in here? Tamo 8, Big Boy, Miss Roberta, um, Miss Sherry, Miss Angelina, 305 Dade County. Who else? I saw D-Mon was in here, the Alabama hitter. Everybody that came through. MJ, I appreciate you guys. I saw Cypress, Steven, Player Cole, Miss Yolanda, Miss Clarinetta, everybody that came through rocking out with us. I appreciate you guys so much. I love you guys. I'll talk